You want a life that matters? Stop running from hard things. Every time you choose easy, you choose to stay average. But every time you choose challenge, you choose to grow, to rise, and to become unstoppable. Comfort is the silent thief of ambition. It doesn't storm in, announce itself, or break down your door. It creeps in quietly. It whispers, "You've done enough." It convinces you to hit snooze one more time, to take the easy road, to relax when you haven't earned it yet. Comfort makes you feel safe, but safety is where dreams go to die. The moment you settle into what's familiar, you start losing the edge that got you this far. That hunger, that fight, that fire, it begins to fade when you let comfort wrap its arms around you. The truth is, comfort doesn't just make you lazy, it makes you weak. It strips you of the grit you need to survive in a world that doesn't care about your feelings, your excuses, or your comfort zone. Comfort lulls you into thinking tomorrow will give you another chance. But tomorrow isn't promised. And when you've been living in comfort for too long, you lose the ability to push yourself when it matters most. Think about it. How many people had big dreams, raw talent, and potential, but never made it because they got comfortable? They started strong, hungry, and willing to fight. But then they reached a small victory, tasted a little success, and decided they could coast. That's when comfort took over. They stopped doing the extra work, stopped waking up early, stopped chasing excellence. And little by little, they slipped from being a threat to being forgotten. Comfort is seductive because it feels good in the moment. That soft couch, that warm bed, that easy choice. It's all so tempting. But every time you give into it, when you know you should be grinding, you're trading long-term greatness for short-term pleasure. You're telling yourself, this is good enough, when deep down, you know it's not. Greatness doesn't come from comfort. Greatness is born in the grind, in the pain, in the moments when you feel like quitting, but push anyway. The champions you admire didn't get there because they chose what was easy. They got there because they were willing to do what most people won't. They trained when they were tired. They worked when others rested. They pushed when their bodies and minds screamed at them to stop. When you live in comfort, you avoid the very things that would make you stronger. Discomfort forces you to grow. It challenges you. It demands that you adapt, fight, and overcome. Comfort, on the other hand, teaches you how to stay the same, and staying the same in a world that's always moving means you're actually falling behind. Comfort makes you forget what it took to get here. You stop being the underdog. You stop hustling like you have something to prove. And the moment you lose that hunger, someone out there who's starving for success will pass you. They're hungrier, they're willing to suffer more, and they'll take the spot you thought you had locked in. The truth is, comfort is dangerous because it hides the damage it's doing. You don't see the weakness right away. It shows up later. When the competition is faster, sharper, stronger, and you realize you've been soft for too long. That's when it hits you that comfort didn't just slow you down, it made you incapable of running at all. You have to make a decision. Either you let comfort lull you into mediocrity, or you step into the discomfort that forges greatness. Every day you have to choose whether you want to be cozy or legendary. And understand this, those two paths will never lead to the same destination. Everybody wants progress. Everybody wants to grow, achieve, and reach the next level. But the moment pain shows up, most people turn back. They think success should feel good, like it's supposed to be comfortable. But the truth is, progress has a price tag, and that price is pain. There is no breakthrough without breaking something. There is no growth without stretching. And stretching hurts. Pain isn't a punishment. It's proof that you're pushing past what's normal for you. If you've never been uncomfortable, you've never really grown. Pain shows you that you're in unfamiliar territory, that you're demanding more from yourself than you have before. And that's where transformation happens. You can't stay the same and expect to become something greater. The process will cost you. It will cost you sleep, comfort, convenience, and at times, your pride. When you chase progress, pain becomes your training partner. Every rep you push, when your muscles burn, every early morning when your body screams for more rest, every rejection you face when you put yourself out there, That's pain collecting its fee. And every time you pay, you're buying strength, skill, and resilience. The people who make it to the top didn't avoid pain, they embraced it. They understood that pain is temporary, but the rewards are permanent. They knew that no matter how hard it gets, the suffering is shaping them into someone who can handle the weight of success. Because here's the reality, if you can't handle the pain of the process, you'll never be able to handle the pressure of the prize. Pain refines you. It strips away your excuses, your weaknesses, your old habits. It forces you to confront yourself and decide if you really want what you say you want. Anyone can talk about dreams when it's easy, but pain is where the talkers quit and the doors rise. Pain separates the wishers from the winners. Every time you avoid pain, you delay your progress. You choose to stay where you are rather than endure what's necessary to move forward. And that's why so many people get stuck in the same place year after year. They're waiting for growth without discomfort, for progress without sacrifice. It doesn't work like that. You can't buy greatness at a discount. The price is non-negotiable. Pain is also the greatest teacher you'll ever have. It shows you what you're capable of. It teaches patience, discipline, and mental toughness. It humbles you while also building your confidence. Because once you've endured something you thought would break you, you realize just how much you can take. And that changes everything. But most people never get there because they run from pain. They think it's a sign to stop, when in reality, it's the clearest sign that they're on the right track. Pain means you're being stretched. It means your limits are being tested. It means you're stepping into a version of yourself that's stronger than the one before. You can't expect to level up without leaving something behind. And leaving something behind always hurts. Whether it's old habits, toxic people, or the comfort of the familiar, progress requires you to let go of what's holding you back. That process is painful, but it's the only way forward. So the question isn't whether pain will show up, it will. The question is whether you're willing to pay it. Because every goal, every dream, every victory has a cost. And the only currency that matters in the pursuit of greatness is your willingness to endure the pain that comes with it. Most people run from discomfort like it's the enemy, when in reality, it's the biggest signal that change is happening. Discomfort is the evidence that you've stepped out of what's familiar. It's your body, mind, and spirit saying, we've never been here before. And that's the point. You're not supposed to feel at home in the middle of growth. Evolution isn't comfortable, it's disruptive. It challenges the systems you've relied on. It breaks patterns you've lived in for years, and it demands that you operate at a level you've never reached before. If you're comfortable, you're not evolving, you're repeating. You're living in a loop, doing the same things, thinking the same thoughts, and getting the same results. The moment you choose to grow, discomfort shows up to test your commitment. It will ask you, do you really want this? Or do you just like the idea of it? Because growth isn't about liking the idea of change. It's about being willing to endure the awkward, painful, frustrating process of becoming more than you are now. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something is working. Just like lifting heavy weights, tears, muscle fibers, so they can grow back stronger. Stepping into new challenges tears away the old version of you so a stronger one can emerge. That tension, that unease you feel, it's your capacity expanding. You're building mental muscle, emotional endurance, and spiritual resilience. The truth is, comfort is a trap because it tells you that the way things are is good enough. Discomfort refuses to let you settle. It forces you to adapt, to learn, to improve. Every great story of transformation is built on seasons of discomfort. Those moments when you wanted to quit, when you doubted yourself, when you questioned if it was worth it. But that's where the breakthrough happens. That's where you separate yourself from the crowd, because most people bail when things get hard. Discomfort also has a way of revealing who you really are. It strips away the polished version of yourself that you show the world and exposes your true mindset. When you're under pressure, when things aren't going your way, when every part of you wants to escape, that's when you find out how bad you want it. Discomfort doesn't just build you, it reveals you. Every step forward requires leaving something behind. And leaving something behind always feels uncomfortable, whether it's a habit, a belief, a relationship, or an environment. It's not easy to detach from what's familiar, even if it's holding you back. But the longer you avoid discomfort, the longer you delay your evolution. You can't become someone new while clinging to the old. You have to see discomfort as a signal, not a setback. It's the body's way of saying, we're growing here. It's the mind's way of saying, we're learning something new. It's the soul's way of saying, we're becoming who we were meant to be. Every great athlete, entrepreneur, leader, or visionary has walked through seasons where discomfort was constant, and they understood that those seasons weren't punishment, they were preparation. When you stop running from discomfort and start embracing it, something shifts. You begin to welcome challenges instead of avoiding them. You start seeing setbacks as opportunities. You stop asking, how can I make this easier? And start asking, how can I make myself stronger? That's when the real evolution begins. Discomfort is the birthplace of confidence. Once you've endured it and survived, you realize that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. And from that moment on, you stop fearing discomfort because you understand it's the only environment where true growth can take place. Everybody wants greatness, but very few are willing to pay the price it requires. It's easy to admire the end result, standing on the stage, wearing the medal, running the business, living the dream, but what you don't see is what it costs to get there. Greatness is never free. It doesn't go on sale. You can't bargain for it. And the currency is sacrifice, and if you're not willing to give something up, you'll never rise to the level you're dreaming about. Sacrifice is about making a choice to let go of something you want right now for something you want more later. It's waking up early when the bed feels perfect. It's staying in and working while everyone else is out having fun. It's choosing discipline over impulse, focus over distraction, and purpose over comfort. Every step toward greatness comes with a trade-off. The people who win are the ones who stop pretending they can have it all without paying for it. The problem is, most people want greatness as long as it's convenient. They'll push when it feels good. They'll grind when it's easy. But the moment it requires them to give up something they love, they start making excuses. That's why sacrifice is the true test. It reveals how badly you really want it. You can talk about goals all day long, but until you're willing to give up sleep, social time, comfort, or even relationships that hold you back, you're not serious. Sacrifice also requires vision. You have to see beyond what's in front of you right now and focus on the bigger picture. The late nights, the tired mornings, or on the weekends spent working instead of relaxing, they don't make sense unless you understand what they're leading to. And the truth is, the greater the dream, the greater the sacrifice. Small dreams require small sacrifices. Great dreams require everything you've got. There will be moments when the sacrifice hurts. You'll feel left out. You'll watch people live in the now while you're investing in the later. You'll have days where you question if it's even worth it. But those are the moments that shape you. Every sacrifice you make is a seed planted in the ground. It might not sprout immediately, but if you stay the course, it will grow into something that lasts. Greatness also demands that you sacrifice who you are now for who you need to become. That means letting go of habits that keep you average, mindsets that keep you small, and environments that keep you stuck. It might mean cutting ties with people you love because they don't align with where you're going. It might mean missing out on experiences others enjoy because you're building something that will outlast those temporary pleasures. The reason sacrifice feels so hard is because it forces you to confront what you value most. Do you value comfort over achievement? Do you value fitting in over standing out? Do you value immediate gratification over lasting success? Greatness doesn't just take your time, your energy, and your effort. It takes your willingness to reorder your priorities so that nothing outranks your mission. The people who achieve greatness aren't superhuman. They're just committed enough to keep paying the price when others stop. They're willing to stay disciplined when everyone else gives in. They're willing to keep their eyes on the goal when distractions try to pull them away. They understand that you can't hold on to everything and still reach the top. Something has to go. And whatever you give up now is nothing compared to what you'll gain later. Sacrifice is not a one-time payment, it's a lifestyle. You don't just sacrifice once and get greatness forever. You keep sacrificing day after day, year after year, because the higher you go, the more it costs. And if you're not willing to keep paying, you'll stop climbing. The world doesn't hand out trophies for trying. It doesn't care how close you came, how hard it felt, or how badly you wanted it if you stopped halfway. The world remembers the ones who refused to quit, the ones who kept going when they had every reason to stop. That's because results don't come to the talented, the lucky, or even the smart as often as they come to the relentless. People aren't the ones with the best conditions. They're the ones who keep showing up again and again and again until the world has no choice but to give them what they've been working for. Being relentless means you're not just in the fight when it's easy. You're in it when it's exhausting, when the odds are against you, when nothing seems to be going your way. It's about having a level of persistence that makes quitting not even an option. When you're relentless, you take every hit, every setback, every failure, and you keep moving forward. You don't wait for perfect conditions because, perfect conditions never come. You just keep swinging, knowing that eventually the door will break open. The reason the world rewards the relentless is simple. They outlast everyone else. Talent burns out, motivation fades, inspiration comes and goes. But relentlessness, that's a force that can't be matched. It's the ability to push through pain, to keep believing when there's no evidence, to work when nobody is watching. And eventually, while others have stopped to rest, you're still moving. That extra mile you go, that's where the reward lies. Most people give up too soon. They start strong, full of energy and excitement, but the moment things get tough, they look for a way out. They convince themselves it wasn't meant to be. But relentless people know better. They know the road to greatness is paved with resistance, and they welcome it because resistance means they're on the right path. Every obstacle is just another test to prove how badly they want it. Relentlessness is not about speed, it's about endurance. You don't have to be the fastest, you just have to refuse to stop. Day after day, you chip away at the goal. Day after day, you make progress. Even if it's an inch at a time, the world starts to notice those who won't go away, those who keep showing up until they become impossible to ignore. That's when opportunities start opening up. Not because you were the most talented, but because you refused to disappear. The truth is, relentless people change the game because they create their own breaks. They don't sit around waiting for someone to give them a chance. They force their way into the room. They don't rely on luck. They rely on their refusal to quit. That's why they win. The world can't deny someone who won't stop knocking, who won't stop pushing, who won't stop until they've turned every no into a oh yes. Being relentless means you keep your foot on the gas when everyone else is slowing down. It means you train when you're tired, study when you're bored, and work when you'd rather rest. It means you don't let your feelings dictate your actions. Feelings fade, but the mission stays. Relentless people understand that results don't come from what you do once. They come from what you do consistently, over and over, no matter how you feel. The world rewards the relentless because they're rare. Most people quit before they see the payoff, but the relentless are still standing when the smoke clears. They've taken the hits, endured the grind, and kept moving forward. And when the reward finally comes, it's not because they were lucky. It's because they were the last ones still in the fight. Easy is tempting. It's safe, it's comfortable, it's predictable. But easy never made anyone great. Easy never built champions, leaders, or game changers. Every time you choose the easy route, you're choosing to stay the same. And if you stay the same, you can't grow, you can't level up, and you can't become the person you were meant to be. The hard road is where transformation happens, and the people who rise to the top are the ones who choose challenge over easy. Every single time, choosing challenge means you're willing to step into the unknown. You're ready to take on tasks that scare you, goals that stretch you, and situations that could break you if you're not careful. It's not about enjoying the difficulty, it's about understanding that difficulty is the price of progress. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Easy feels good now, but it costs you later. It costs you opportunities, skills, discipline, and confidence. Challenge feels uncomfortable now, but it pays you later with growth, strength, resilience, and success. Most people don't see this because they're only thinking about the moment. They pick the easy way because it feels good today, not realizing they're robbing their future. The difference between the person who wins and the person who wishes is that the winner keeps choosing what's hard when everyone else is chasing what's easy. Challenge forces you to dig deeper. It demands you bring your best even when you don't feel like it. It shows you your limits and then dares you to push past them. When you choose challenge, you're not just working on the task, you're working on yourself. You're building habits, focus, and toughness that easy can never give you. Easy might keep you comfortable, but challenge makes you unshakable. There's a reason the road to greatness is uphill. It's meant to be hard. The climb forces you to earn every step, and in that process, you become the kind of person who can handle the success you're chasing. Easy might get you a quick win, but challenge gives you lasting victory. It teaches you how to work through resistance, how to keep going when the odds are against you, and how to stay committed when the reward isn't immediate. The truth is, most people are addicted to easy. They avoid anything that might make them sweat, struggle, or fail. But failure is part of the process, and without the process, there is no success. Choosing challenge means accepting that you might fail, but knowing that even in failure, you learn something that makes you better. Easy teaches you nothing. Challenge teaches you everything. Every time you choose the harder path, you separate yourself from the crowd. You build a track record of doing what most people won't. And that's the kind of reputation that leads to opportunities, respect, and results. People notice when you consistently take on challenges because it shows you're not afraid to grow. When you look back years from now, you won't remember the easy days. You'll remember the battles you fought, the mountains you climbed, and the challenges you overcame. Those are the moments that shape your story. And every time you step up to a challenge, you add another chapter that proves you didn't settle for ordinary. Challenge isn't just a test, it's a gift. It forces you to develop the kind of strength, patience, and focus that success demands. Easy will always be there, waiting to pull you back into mediocrity. But if you want a life that's worth remembering, you have to make the hard choice again and again until it becomes who you are.